The image is haunting. Arms folded across his chest, eyes distant, body language screaming frustration. LeBron James sat on the bench, watching the final minutes of what should have been a celebration turn into a nightmare. His 41st birthday, a milestone that should have been marked with triumph. Instead, he witnessed his Los Angeles Lakers get absolutely demolished by 22 points at home. But here's what nobody's talking about. This wasn't just another loss. This was the moment when whispers turned into shouts, when casual speculation became urgent conversation, when the question wasn't, will LeBron retire, but is this the beginning of the end? Before we dive deeper into what's really happening with the Lakers and why this birthday loss might be the tipping point everyone feared, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss any breaking developments in what could be the final chapter of the greatest basketball career we've ever witnessed. Now, let's get into this story. December 30th, 2025, Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers faithful packed the building to celebrate not just a game, but a historic moment. LeBron James turning 41, the 12th player in NBA history to suit up at that age, the 6th to do it this century, a living legend entering his unprecedented 23rd season. The narrative was supposed to write itself, a vintage performance, a classic LeBron takeover, the crowd going wild as the king reminded everyone why he's still the king. That's not what happened. The Detroit Pistons, led by Cade Cunningham's masterful 27 points and 11 assists, came into Los Angeles and delivered a beatdown, 128-106. It wasn't competitive, it wasn't close, and by the time the final buzzer sounded, LeBron James, who managed just 17 points on what should have been his special night, was sitting on that bench with his arms crossed, looking every bit his age and then some. But let me tell you something. This game, this loss, this image of a defeated LeBron on his birthday, it's just the surface. Underneath, there's a story that's been building for weeks, a crisis that's been brewing in the Lakers locker room, a defensive collapse that's got everyone in the organization scrambling for answers, and retirement rumors that won't go away no matter how many times they're denied. Let's rewind. Just over a month ago, before LeBron even returned from injury, the Lakers were showing promise. After LeBron missed the first 14 games of the 2025-26 season due to sciatica, nerve pain that can be debilitating, he finally made his debut in late November against the Utah Jazz. The team had been holding their own with Luka Doncic leading the charge, and when LeBron returned, expectations soared. But the reality has been a disaster. Since LeBron's return and throughout December 2025, the wheels have come off. Not gradually, not slowly, but spectacularly, embarrassingly, and in a way that's got Lakers fans wondering if this team is about to implode. The Lakers have now lost 4 of their last 5 games. And here's the kicker. Every single one of those losses has been by double digits. Not one close game, not one heartbreaker that could be chalked up to bad luck or a last-second shot. No, these have been systematic demolitions. December 2025 was a month from hell. On Christmas Day, the Houston Rockets came into town and humiliated the Lakers 119-96, a 23-point loss on Christmas. Let that sink in. The day when the NBA showcases its marquee matchups, when the world is watching, and the Lakers got embarrassed. LeBron scored 18 points, but was a staggering -33 in plus-minus. -33. That means the Lakers were 33 points worse when he was on the floor. That's not just bad, that's historically terrible. After that Christmas disaster, Coach J.J. Redick didn't mince words. He called out the team's lack of organization, their defensive breakdowns, their inability to execute. The Lakers held what Redick promised would be an uncomfortable team meeting on Saturday, December 27th. They went through a rare Sunday morning shoot-around before their game against Sacramento. The message was clear. This is unacceptable, and things need to change immediately. On December 20th, the Lakers lost to the Los Angeles Clippers. LeBron had scored 36 points that night, but it didn't matter. The Lakers still lost, and LeBron's plus-minus was atrocious. 3 days later, on December 23rd, they blew a 20-point lead against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns came back from being down 99-79 with less than 8 minutes left to take a 114-113 lead. LeBron hit 2 clutch free throws with 3.9 seconds left to give the Lakers a 1-point win. Wait, actually they won that one. But it showed how fragile this team is, how easily they can lose control of games, even with massive leads. The pattern was clear. The Lakers couldn't maintain leads, couldn't defend consistently, and couldn't close out games. Their offense, which Redick admitted had become full of too many random possessions since LeBron returned, lacked structure. Their defense? Don't even get me started on their defense. According to reports throughout December 2025, the Lakers' defense has been among the worst in the league. They're getting torched on the perimeter, they're getting demolished in the paint, they're giving up offensive rebounds, they're not communicating, they're not rotating, they're not showing the effort and intensity required to compete at this level. Against the Rockets on Christmas, they looked lost. Against the Pistons on LeBron's birthday, they looked even worse. The injuries haven't helped. Austin Reaves, who'd been playing brilliantly and was becoming a legitimate all-star candidate, went down with a calf strain and is expected to miss at least 4 weeks. He'd already missed 4 of the previous 6 games before the Pistons matchup. Rui Hachimura was also out against Detroit with right calf soreness. The roster is thin, and it's showing. But here's the thing. Injuries happen to every team. What doesn't happen to every team is complete defensive breakdowns, effort questions, and the kind of body language we saw from LeBron on his birthday. Let's talk about that body language for a second, because if you've watched LeBron James for 23 years, you know he's seen it all. Championship celebrations, devastating losses, historic moments, rock-bottom failures. The man has experienced every emotion basketball can offer. But sitting there on his 41st birthday, arms crossed, watching his team get demolished by the Pistons, there was something different in his demeanor, something that felt final. See, LeBron's been dropping hints all year. Not obvious ones, not press conference bombshells, but subtle signs that the end is approaching. Earlier this season, ESPN's Dave McMenamin reported that sources close to LeBron suggested this could be his final season. Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, reportedly indicated there were no extension talks with the Lakers because they didn't ask for an extension. Think about that. LeBron James, the face of the franchise, the reason the Lakers have any relevance right now, and there are no extension discussions? Now, LeBron has repeatedly said he's not thinking about retirement. Before the season started, he talked about being excited for another year. At his season debut in November 2025 against Utah, he said he was focused on getting his wind back, finding his rhythm, building chemistry with the team. But notice what he's not saying. He's not saying, I'll play 3 more years. He's not saying, I'm here for the long haul. He's operating game by game, season by season, evaluating his body and his desire in real time. The stats suggest he can still play. He's averaging around 20 points per game in 2025-26, still contributing assists and rebounds. Those are solid numbers for any player, let alone a 41-year-old. But basketball isn't just about stats. It's about the grind, the travel, the physicality, the recovery. And at 41, in his 1,577th regular season game, LeBron's body is telling him things it never told him before. The sciatica that cost him the first 14 games of the season, that's not a minor injury. That's nerve pain that can be debilitating. That's the kind of thing that lingers, that flares up, that reminds you every single day that you're not 25 anymore. Earlier in 2025, he dealt with other nagging issues. These aren't just bumps and bruises. These are wear and tear injuries that come with age, with 60,000-plus career minutes played including playoffs, with 2 decades of carrying teams on his back. Against Detroit on his birthday, LeBron hit 3 three-pointers. He added 4 assists and 4 rebounds. 17 points isn't terrible, but it's not the king. It's not the player who could take over games with his mere presence. And more damning than the numbers was where he spent the final minutes, on the bench, watching younger, hungrier players close out the game. The Pistons' Marcus Sasser scored a season-high 19 points. Isaiah Stewart had 15. These aren't superstars. These are role players who wanted it more. The Eastern Conference leading Pistons finished 3-2 on their West Coast trip, and the Lakers game was one of their easier wins. They scored relentlessly in the paint. They executed their defensive schemes. Meanwhile, the Lakers looked lost. They looked old. They looked like a team that's going through the motions, hoping their talent will bail them out, and discovering that at this level, talent without effort means nothing. After the game, the narrative shifted. This wasn't just another loss. This was LeBron James sitting on the bench with his arms folded on his 41st birthday, watching his team lose by 22 points. That's an image that will define this season. That's an image that will be replayed over and over. That's an image that will fuel retirement speculation for weeks to come. This brings us back to those retirement rumors. See, there's a pattern emerging, a pattern we've seen with other legends who hung on just a bit too long. The body starts breaking down more frequently, the losses start piling up, the frustration becomes visible. The questions shift from when will you retire to why haven't you retired yet? And the player himself starts thinking about legacy, about ending on his own terms, about not becoming a shell of what he once was. LeBron has accomplished everything. 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs, all-time leading scorer, 21 All-Star selections, all NBA teams, Olympic gold medals. He's played with his son Bronny, making history as the first father-son duo to share an NBA court. He cemented his legacy as one of the 2 greatest players ever, alongside Michael Jordan. He has nothing left to prove. Nothing. So why continue grinding through an 82-game season when your team can't defend, when your body hurts more than it ever has, when every loss feels like it's chipping away at the image you've spent 2 decades building? The answer might be that LeBron doesn't know how to quit. He's been LeBron James, NBA superstar, since he was 18 years old. It's his identity, his purpose, his reason for getting up every morning. Walking away means confronting a future where he's not that guy anymore, where he's not the best player in the world, not the face of the league, not the center of attention. That's a psychological shift most athletes struggle with. And LeBron, for all his greatness, is still human. But that birthday game might have been a turning point. Watching from the bench, arms crossed, helpless as his team imploded. That image will linger. It'll be replayed. It'll be analyzed. It'll become part of the narrative. Remember when LeBron sat on the bench on his 41st birthday and watched his team lose by 22 points? That's when we knew the end was near. Is that fair? Maybe not. Is it accurate? We'll see. The Lakers face more tests ahead as we close out 2025 and head into 2026. Every game now feels like it matters more, not just for playoff positioning, but for LeBron's decision-making. If the losses keep piling up, if the defense doesn't improve, if the frustration continues to mount, don't be surprised if LeBron starts seriously considering whether he wants to spend what could be his final season enduring blowout after blowout. There's also the Bronny and Bryce factor. Bronny is already in the league. That historic moment already happened. His younger son Bryce is still developing. Some have speculated LeBron might play long enough to share the court with both his sons, but that would mean playing another 2 or 3 years, at 43 or 44, in a league that's getting younger, faster, and more athletic every season. Is that realistic? Is that what LeBron wants? Or does he want to go out on top with some dignity while he can still play at a high level? The business side complicates things too. LeBron is playing on a contract worth tens of millions this season, making him the first player ever to play a 23rd season. Walking away from that kind of salary takes guts. It takes being at peace with your career. It takes knowing that no amount of money can replace your health, your happiness, your peace of mind. Is LeBron there yet? Based on his comments, probably not. But another month like December 2025, another embarrassing birthday loss, that could change everything. The Lakers organization has to be thinking about this too. They have Luka Doncic as their centerpiece for the future, but they also need LeBron to mentor Luka, to provide leadership, to help transition the franchise from one era to the next. Losing LeBron abruptly would be a shock to the system, but losing LeBron after he's been beaten down by a terrible defensive season, after his legacy takes unnecessary hits, after he's forced to sit on benches watching blowouts, that's almost worse. J.J. Redick, in his first season as head coach, has been brutally honest about the team's struggles. He's called out the lack of defensive clarity, the random offensive possessions, the need for role clarity. He's held uncomfortable team meetings. He's demanded accountability. But words only go so far. At some point, the players have to execute, and right now, they're not. So where does this leave us as we stand at the end of 2025? LeBron James just turned 41. He watched his team get destroyed on his birthday. The Lakers have lost 4 of their last 5, with all losses being double-digit blowouts. Key players like Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura are injured. The defense has been atrocious, and retirement rumors are swirling harder than ever. This is not how legends want their stories to end. This is not the script LeBron James imagined when he entered his 23rd season. But this is reality. Messy, complicated, uncertain, and absolutely riveting. The next few weeks will tell us a lot. Can the Lakers turn around their defense? Can they string together wins without Austin Reaves? Can LeBron find another gear and prove all the doubters wrong? Or is this the beginning of the end? Is this the slow decline that every athlete dreads, where the games get harder, the losses hurt more, and the realization sets in that it's time to step away? For now, as we transition from 2025 to 2026, we watch, we wait, we wonder. Because if there's one thing LeBron James has taught us over 23 seasons, it's that counting him out is dangerous. He's defied Father Time longer than anyone thought possible. He's achieved things nobody thought achievable. And maybe, just maybe, he's got one more run left in him. One more stretch of vintage LeBron. One more reminder of why he's the king. Or maybe that image of him sitting on the bench with his arms crossed on his 41st birthday will be the lasting memory. The moment when it all became too much. When the greatest of all time realized that even greatness has an expiration date. Ending and disclaimer. This is a developing story as of December 31, 2025, and the situation with LeBron James and the Lakers continues to evolve. The information presented here is based on recent reports, game statistics from the December 30, 2025 matchup against Detroit, public statements from players and coaches throughout December 2025, and analysis from credible sports journalists and insiders. Retirement speculation remains just that, speculation until LeBron makes any official announcement. We'll continue monitoring this story as the 2025-26 season progresses into 2026, and we'll bring you updates as they happen. What do you think? Is this really the beginning of the end for LeBron James, or will he prove everyone wrong one more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest NBA news and analysis.